And this is the fundamental seminar, the blocking and tackling, as we say in the States, or the real chance for you to get an awful lot of some chance to implement it for yourself and see how the elements of the core thinking about GTD fit together. It is by far the most popular seminar that we teach for getting things done, this fundamentals one. As I say, we're running it on the 22nd of October. We're still searching for a venue, so we'll have that up in the next little while or so. What we'd like to do, we would very, very much like to have the support of the folks here at the Tweetup. So we've got a bit of a special offer for you. Anybody who's attending the Tweetup today or is on the attendee list who's attending via the web, you'll get 10% off. If you bring 5 friends, they'll each get 10% and you'll get 25% off. So if you've got a bunch of friends that you'd like to bring, by all means, do that and you can pool the savings. What we're going to do is Morten and I are, well, I'll provide some information to Morten later today or early tomorrow, and as I understand it, there's going to be a follow-up email after the event today. In that email will be more information about the seminar and some links that'll take you to the registration page so that you can sign up. This is, I mean, all cards on the table. I'll be honest. This is a bit of a test for us. As far as I know, there's never been a public seminar in getting things done in Oslo before. We absolutely believe in the potential for the market. You know, we will see how the registrations go. If it looks like it's just not going to happen or we're not getting the right kinds of numbers, then we'll postpone it and think about doing it at a later date. But for the moment, 22nd of October is in our diaries, and we're planning to be there. We very much hope that with your support and the marketing that we're doing in other forums, that we'll make this quite a successful event. So that's it. As I said, please have a look either tomorrow or the next day in your inbox for an email from Morten, and the information, the further information on the seminar will be there. So once again, thank you very much. It's been quite an honor to be part of the first GTD Tweetup. I can now put that on my CV, and very much look forward to working with and communicating with as many of you as possible as you continue on your GTD journey. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Todd. Thank you very much, Todd. For those of you who have not registered, who just showed up today, I think there's a few of you. If you want to receive the special offer, please go to meetup.com and Oslo GTD meetup page and just become a member. You don't have to sign up for anything, and then you'll automatically receive the email. Okay? I think we're pretty much finished with the talks now. We're going off to the Q&A. You can post your questions to @produktivoslo. That's productive with a K. If you post your questions there, they'll show up. They will not show up here, but they will show up on my iPhone, and I'll moderate which questions become answered. So, okay, we have a question. What is your favorite system for implementing GTD? Okay, Frode, you're up.
My favorite system, well, I don't really have a system. I have a toolkit. I guess that's continuously evolving. My personal setup right now, and for the last couple of years, has been Outlook, of all things, for my email and action lists and project lists with the NetCentrics plugin. That's worked remarkably well. Outlook, I don't think, really handles large data files that well, so I may switch from that to something that's more mobile, because I have a pretty nomadic lifestyle now that's evolving. And then for my notes, I use Evernote, as I mentioned before. So I highly recommend that. So that's kind of my two main things now. And then for mind mapping, I use Mind Manager. So if you go to mindjet.com, you can get a free trial, and mind mapping is fantastic as a tool for organizing your projects and just getting stuff out of your head. So that's kind of my toolkit right now.
Okay, we don't have many questions at the moment, or as far. So Todd, do you want to tell us about your system? What's your favorite system?
Sure. I use a combination of things. As I said, I've been all over the map really since I first implemented GTD. But what I'm using most recently is a combination of Outlook on the desktop, and I use the task function within Outlook for most of my list keeping. So my actions, my projects, my agendas, my waiting fors, my someday maybes, those all are set up as categories within the task list in Outlook. I also have a Windows mobile device, phone, which allows me basically to take my entire GTD system with me anywhere that I go. So if I find myself, wherever I find myself, I've got a very portable version of my system with me. When I'm at home at the PC, I also use, as Freddie said, I'm also a big fan of Mind Manager. So for general brainstorming, getting my head empty, making sure that I've got everything, I do use that a lot. But at the end of the day, I think that the most, the thing that I use most at the beginning of a weekly review, just to sort of get everything out of my head, is a completely blank piece of A4 paper. That's there's something magical about a pen and a piece of paper and sitting out on the deck in the sunshine. It gets my head clear like nothing else.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we got a couple of new questions. One from Evan. How would you recommend implementing reviews? I found it difficult to do it systematically and regularly. Frode?
Well, I think there's two approaches if you're not really getting them done right now, aside from calendaring them so that you have time set aside, and support yourself by giving yourself the time you need. One is just to really, be at peace with the fact that you might be slower because you're not as practiced. It will just take you a while initially to get through all the steps. The other is to maybe give yourself permission to not do a perfect weekly review the first time around. And Kelly Forrester at the David Allen Company, she's had this wonderful thing on Twitter, which I'm sure, since people are following this live, I don't have this in my head now, since of course I don't keep things in my head. But she's been tweeting live doing weekly reviews a few times. It's a very cool experiment, and so there have been people worldwide following her on Twitter, kind of moving through all the steps. And the way that's worked is that she's kind of set a time limit for each of the steps in the weekly review, so that when you're done, where you're supposed to get to empty and you're not really at empty in yet, that's okay, just move on to the next step. And eventually, at least you'll have then the experience of getting through all the steps. The other thing that I would really recommend is do daily reviews, so that to keep your stay at empty in, if you can, every day, or don't let it go more than a couple of days before you get to empty in. So that will help you, so that the first part of the weekly review will take so much less time, because it's really supposed to be about project level thinking. And if you're getting bogged down dealing with runway issues, that really steals time away from thinking about higher level things.
Okay. A question for you, Todd. How do you best prioritize importance of tasks?
How do I best prioritize the importance of tasks?
Prioritize importance of the tasks.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. I do two things. First thing is that I'm motivated to keep my GTD systems up to date, so that I'm sure that I have a complete inventory of everything that I could focus on. So that's important. In other words, if I haven't done, let's say I've got an inbox full of email and I've got a bunch of stuff in my physical inbox, letters I haven't opened, who knows what. If I've got a lot of stuff that I haven't processed, I haven't made decisions about what they mean yet, then I get very stressed about, am I really focusing on the right things? So it's just another piece of encouragement for me to keep my systems up to date, to keep myself, going through my inbox consistently, making decisions about what's in there. That's an important one. I think the other thing that I'd say about prioritization is, I also, in addition to my projects list, which, as I said earlier, I keep in Outlook, and right at the moment I have about 70, I think I got something like 70